In today's fast-paced world, we often find ourselves reacting to the opinions and actions of others, whether it's criticism from a colleague, a harsh comment from a friend, or a stranger's rude behavior. These interactions can feel like personal attacks, affecting our self-worth and emotional well-being. Taking things personally is rooted in our brain's primitive survival mechanisms. Our brains are wired to perceive threats, and criticism or perceived attacks trigger a defensive response. This defense mechanism, while crucial for survival in ancient times, can lead to feelings of insecurity, isolation, and prolonged misery in our modern lives. Our ego plays a significant role in how we perceive and react to others' actions. It craves acknowledgement and validation. When our ego feels hurt, we are more likely to take things personally, which can drain our energy and harm our relationships. Understanding this can help us manage our reactions more effectively. Taking things personally often reflects a form of selfishness, assuming everything revolves around us. This perspective is reinforced by social conditioning, where we internalize others' actions as a reflection of ourselves. Others project their beliefs and experiences onto us. Their opinions are a reflection of their own issues, not a true measure of our worth. People act based on their own experiences and issues. Their actions are often more about their personal struggles than about us. Recognizing this can help us detach from their negativity and reduce the personal impact of their behavior. But what if we could navigate these situations without letting them impact us so deeply? We will explore strategies to stop taking things personally. It's not about main. Shift focus to others' intentions. Often, what others say or do is more about their own needs or situations rather than about us. For example, if someone is tailgating you on the road, it may simply be that they are in a hurry, not that they are targeting you personally. Recognizing this can help us see beyond ourselves and reduce our personal impact. It is about me. Use emotional reactions for self-reflection. When we feel hurt, use the emotion as a tool for self-reflection. Ask yourself why certain comments or actions trigger a strong reaction. This reflection might reveal areas where change is needed or where the other person might have a valid point. For instance, if you find yourself becoming defensive in response to a colleague's feedback, it might be uncovering a deeper fear of inadequacy or an unmet need for approval. Clarity. Distinguish between facts and narratives. We often create narratives that amplify our emotional responses. By separating the facts of a situation from the stories we tell ourselves, we gain a clearer understanding. For example, imagine someone comments on your weight. In some cultures, this might be intended as a sign of affection or concern rather than an insult. Recognizing these cultural differences can help us understand the true intent behind such remarks. Boundaries. Knowing where you end and others begin. Understanding and maintaining boundaries is essential. Focus on what you can control your reactions and actions rather than getting caught up in others' behavior. A practical exercise is to list what is within your control and what isn't. Then, direct your energy and attention toward the aspects you can influence, letting go of the rest. Personal values. Building a solid self-worth foundation. Our sense of self-worth should be anchored in our values and character, not in others' opinions. When we align with our values, we become more secure and less susceptible to taking things personally. Practice pausing before responding to criticism, use assertive communication to clarify intentions, and develop a strong sense of self-worth through value-driven living. Recognizing the signs of taking things too personally is crucial for personal growth and emotional well-being. Here are some key indicators that might suggest you're internalizing situations more than necessary. Creating drama over trivial matters. If you find yourself getting disproportionately upset over minor issues, it could be a sign that you're personalizing situations unnecessarily. This tendency often leads to unnecessary stress and conflict, as small problems are blown out of proportion and turned into larger-than-life dramas. Overreacting to constructive criticism. Constructive feedback is meant to help you grow, but if you spiral into self-criticism or feel deeply wounded by reasonable suggestions, you might be taking things too personally. This overreaction can prevent you from embracing opportunities for improvement and lead to a distorted self-image. Ruminating over social situations. Do you often replay negative interactions in your mind, analyzing every word and gesture? This constant rumination can keep you trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and anxiety, making it difficult to move on from even minor social slights. Outsized emotional responses. experiencing intense emotional reactions to relatively minor issues is a strong indicator that you may be taking things personally. Whether it's anger, sadness, or frustration, these outsized responses can be emotionally draining and strain your relationships. Frequent defensiveness. If you often feel the need to defend yourself, even in situations where no attack is intended, it might be because you're interpreting neutral or benign comments as personal affronts. This defensiveness can create tension in your interactions and make it difficult to maintain healthy communication with others. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward change. By identifying when and how you take things personally, you can begin to shift your mindset and develop healthier ways of interpreting and responding to the world around you. By learning not to take things personally, we protect ourselves from this harm. We build emotional resilience, allowing us to maintain stability and inner peace, even in difficult situations. This shift empowers us to see others' words and actions as reflections of their own issues, not our worth. Let us unlock the several key benefits from not taking things personally. Taking things personally can deeply affect our emotional and mental well-being. When we internalize others' negativity, it often leads to lasting emotional pain, fueling feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and anxiety. This emotional poison can distort our self-perception and strain our relationships, ultimately undermining our confidence and peace of mind. Freedom from emotional pain. When we stop taking things personally, we free ourselves from the unnecessary emotional burdens that often accompany anger, jealousy, and sadness. By not allowing others' words to dictate our emotional state, we can enjoy a more peaceful and contented life. Increased emotional freedom. As we become less affected by external negativity, we gain greater control over our emotions. This increased emotional freedom allows us to respond to situations with calmness and reason, rather than being driven by knee-jerk reactions. Over time, this leads to a more stable and balanced emotional state, where we are less vulnerable to the ups and downs of daily interactions. Breaking negative habits. Not personalizing others' actions helps us break free from harmful patterns and routines that may have developed over time. For instance, instead of automatically reacting defensively to criticism, we can learn to assess it objectively and use it for growth. This shift in perspective allows us to cultivate healthier habits in how we respond to the world around us, leading to more constructive and positive outcomes in our relationships and personal growth. Increased emotional resilience. Emotional resilience means being able to bounce back from difficulties without being overwhelmed by them. We reduce the emotional weight we carry, allowing us to handle stress and adversity with greater composure. This resilience not only protects us from emotional burnout but also empowers us to face challenges with a calm and clear mind. Improved relationships. When we don't take things personally, we communicate more openly and effectively, reducing conflicts and misunderstandings in our relationships. By not internalizing others' comments or actions as personal attacks, we can respond with empathy and understanding rather than defensiveness. This approach fosters healthier interactions, as it allows us to listen more attentively, respond more thoughtfully, and resolve conflicts with greater ease. As a result, our relationships become stronger, more trusting, and more supportive.